Enchanting, whimsical, artist GinaBella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions, expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay. Her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, GinaBella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on GinaBella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444.
A local artist, if you don't know me, here in Delray Beach, and I am here at the Brooklyn Cafe. And tonight I'm going to do a demonstration on how easy it is to do clay sculpting. Now there's different clays that you can use. If you don't have access to a kiln of what you put some clay in, you can do air dried, you know, things like that. But the air dried mostly has to be a decorative piece. It can't be like a food ready where you can use like a cup or a plate or anything like that. That would be with food. But you can, you know, there's always different places where if you get the good clay where you can put it in the kiln, there's local places that charge that you can actually make your piece if you want to try and bring it to a local place, and they'll charge you a little bit of money, not a lot, to pop it in their kiln to fire it for you. And then you could bring it home, and if you have underglazes, which are food safe, you could use that and bring it back to them, and they will fire it again for you. So there's a lot of options. But before I get my hands dirty in the clay, I want to show you a little bit about what I've been working on. I made little itty bitties of this new series that I'm working on. I have larger pieces at home, but these are itty bitties that I've done. And the first one is, they're hydrangeas. So they're like little black canvases with thick painted hydrangeas. So I made a whole bunch of different colors. I made this one, and I made the white one, and this one's my favorite, the pink one. So I don't know if you can see that so well, but the paint actually comes off of the canvas here. So that's okay. Anyway, so those are my pieces, those little itty bitties. They're not on my website yet, but they're going to be if you're interested. Or if you're interested in first dibs, you can always call me here at the studio at 888-994-4995 to get one of these, or to get all four if you want. They're only $30 each, so it's a pretty good deal. Has my artist name at the bottom. And my series that I'm making with these paints, these heavy-bodied paints, which I absolutely love, it's Wildflowers is the series that I'm calling them. So if you're interested and you want it, you can either go on my website, probably by the weekend, they'll be on there. Or if you want first dibs, you can call me here at the studio tonight. Just give me your name or someone your name, and I could get in touch with you off the air. 888-994-4995 and livinglifeartfully.com. So tonight, let me get started because I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to do clay. I do a lot of classes. I do adults and kids and birthday parties and women's drinking nights with clay sculpting. I have my little beverage here. Thank you, Slick, for the deliciousness. So I'm going to show you how easy it is. So basically you're just going to take out a little bit of clay, and I have my dowels here. And what I use with my dowels is so it makes it even thickness. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just rolling out the clay, and I'm going to make the bottom. I'm making a mug, so I'm going to make the bottom first. And I need to just roll it out, and then I'm going to measure it because I want the thickness to be kind of like the cup. You know, that's a nice, so just make a little imprint in it, and that's all you have to do. And then you could take a knife, you could take a little, you know, anything you want. I like to use one of these little X-Actos, you know. It's easier for me. So then you just follow it around and you just trace out what you did. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'll show you after what happens. So that's what you do there. And now, normally you always want to keep your clay covered, but this is only a 30-minute segment, so it doesn't matter. And then you want to take a little bit of water and just even it out a little bit. So this is going to be your base to your mug that you make. Really easy, really quick. You just want to pick it up. Sometimes it sticks to the paper, like now. You just want to pick it up, turn it over, and do the same thing just to even it out. So this is going to be the bottom of your mug. So you're going to put that aside. You're going to take more clay, and now we're going to sculpt the body of the actual mug. And for some crazy reason, my hair is in all of this. Okay, so you don't need a lot of clay. It's nice and moist and just soft. And that's how you always want your clay, because it's super easy to work with when it's like that. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it out again. And now, depending upon the height and all of that, you kind of want to just, you know, figure it out as you go. Sometimes it doesn't have to be, it's not like rocket science. You just want to like roll out your clay and put some more. That way you have enough to make a cylinder that will go around the base that I just kind of made. And it's pretty easy and it's fun to do. I don't think I've ever met one person who hasn't loved sculpting with clay, because it's super easy. And you know, with clay, if you can think it, you can totally make it. So, all right, that's kind of where I want it. And so before we start doing our little measurements, we kind of want to just pick up the clay and we want to bring it around just to see where we're at with the bottom of the piece. And right now, I'm going to show you on this part. Right now we are not quite exactly. There's a little part at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little more clay and roll it out. And that way we'll have enough to make my mug. A little bit more. And the clay is very forgiving. If you make a mistake, it's very forgiving. And you could just start over. So there's that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife once again, and I'm going to cut a little bit off the edges. Okay, and to figure out your height, you know, you don't want a really tall mug, and you don't want a really short mug either. So you just kind of want to eye it in the beginning. And then you could do your measurements later if you are extreme in your preciseness, which I'm kind of not, because I like my pieces to look really handmade. I don't like them to look like they're factory made. I am more into, you know, the handmade look, like the rustic handmade type of look. Okay. So now what you do is you want to measure it out again to make sure it reaches, and it totally does. So that's going to be sort of my mug. Okay, so the next part, after you have that, you want to take, you could take your X-Acto knife, you could take anything you want that has some kind of piece to it where you can kind of scratch up the clay. And now scratching up the clay has a special word, it's called scoring. So what you do is you want to just kind of mess it up a little bit down at the bottom on the sides, and that's called scoring, and that's kind of what is going to give you your glue to the piece. So you do the bottom first, and then you figure out what part you want the bottom to be on your mug. And then you go ahead and you do the inside bottom. You kind of just make little lines, and that's what it's called, scoring. So you make little lines across the whole bottom that's going to be attached to your base. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit because it doesn't look that straight. Okay. So there's that. Now, the next part is very important on how to make your clay stick and stay together. Once you've done your scoring, you want to take a little bit of water and just drip it in the little areas. So it's like now a little puddle in the little areas that you did with your scoring. And that and that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to butt it up against the bottom part. Actually, I'll do it this way so everybody can see what I'm doing. I'll butt it up the bottom part and then bring it around just like so. Okay, and you see how this is a lot bigger? What you do at that point is you take your knife and you just kind of cut down just like that. Bring it around, it's still a little too big. And you just a little bit at a time. Okay, and that'll work. Okay, so now what you do here is you do the same thing. You do the scoring again. And you want to do it here, just like that. Real messy, it doesn't have to be like perfect. And just put little water into that piece. And then you're going to bring it in to that one, just like that. And of course, if you guys have questions, call me here at the studio at 888-994-4995. I'd love to answer any of your questions. Okay, so now it's coming together. You kind of see what's happening here. Now the inside, I don't know if you guys could see it well, but the inside has like a piece that's kind of folded over. So what you want to do is you want to get your hand a little wet and you want to kind of just blend it in to the other part on the inside. So you don't see the seam and you just keep going down. Now a lot of people make mugs with potter's wheels, which I have 2 at my house, but hand sculpting, slab building basically is what this is called. You could do it anywhere. You don't really need you don't need that at all, a wheel. So, all right, so now you can go around the top part and just kind of smooth it out so it's nice and smooth, because you don't want any rough areas on the top part, because your pretty lips are going to be against this, drinking your coffee with Bailey's or whatever you like to put in your coffee. So you want it to be very smooth so there are no issues of hurting yourself. So you just want to just take the sponge and smooth the whole thing out. It's coming together nicely. I'm going to turn it a little bit for myself. And it's really easy to do this. Anybody could do this. You know, I taught in a private school many years ago. I taught first grade all the way up to sixth grade. And the first graders, they were great. They made a lot of stuff like this. They made their own plates, their birthday plates and celebration plates and mugs and, a lot of stuff. So if a first grader could do it, anybody could do it. So, yeah. Okay, so right now I'm going to smooth this out. But before I finish here, I'm going to take a quick commercial break and I'm going to continue. And when you come back, I'll teach you how to do a little handle for the mug. See you in a minute.
Creative, enchanting, whimsical, artist GinaBella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions. Expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay, her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, GinaBella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on GinaBella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444.
Hi, welcome back. All right, the next thing we're going to do now is I'm going to make a cool little handle for the mug. And then I'll make a little bit of element decorations for the outside of the mug. So again, you want your dowels out so you can roll it. Let me move this little guy over here so I don't, there we go. Just put him there for a second. Okay. So now I'm going to roll this out for the handle. A little more. I'm going to make a little whimsical type of handle so it's not just like an ordinary handle. And you want to make sure that it is, kind of the same thickness all the way down. So my trusty X-Acto knife that I love to use gets good cuts. And that's a nice size. A little bit this way. Okay. There and there. All right. Now you want to smooth this out again a little bit with you can use the sponge or you can use water. I think water sometimes is quicker and easier, but when you want to do something flat, you want to use the sponge because it's easier that way. Okay, so now I have this little piece here that I'm going to make my handle. Now I just need to figure out what part of the mug I'm going to put the handle. Let's see. I think the clay is very soft right now, so it's kind of moving around a little bit, but I think I'm going to put the handle over here on this side. Okay. It's a nice mug. The shrinkage is a little bit with this clay. Just a little bit, not a lot. Okay, so now I want to figure out how I want to put my piece. So I'm gonna make like a little swirly there and another little swirly down at the bottom. It probably has another name, but I don't know what it would be called. And I'm gonna score these two parts right here so I can attach it to the mug, just like so. And don't forget your water has to be in those little scored up pieces or it won't stay. Okay, so I'm trying to put it where you guys could see it well. Okay, so the bottom one is gonna go right there. And you just kind of press it on and move it around. And then the top one, it's gonna go right there. Just like so. And I'm gonna move this a little bit. I should have brought my turn thing so I could move it to show you guys. So this is a nice thick handle for your mug. And I can make a little heart for the top part. You just kind of roll out your clay a little bit and you just make a heart. Really cute little heart that you can kind of just have it sit right there. And with clay, water is your best friend because you could smooth things out and move things around, and it works out great. Okay, so here's my little rustic little heart I made. And I'm gonna scrape up the back a little bit, again, scoring it. I'm gonna put a little water. If you ever wanna take one of my classes, I do online stuff or I do local, and I could come to you and, okay, so there's that part right there with the heart. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a couple paper towels because my clay is very soft right now and I'm doing this quickly. I'm gonna bunch up a little paper towels and I'm gonna put it in here so it doesn't droop. So it'll stick up just a little bit, just like that, while I'm still working. And now every piece has a story. Like all my artwork here at the Brooklyn Cafe, it all has a story. This mug, it's gonna have a story. Oh, okay. So you can do anything with the clay. So I'm going to make, really quickly, something about kindness, because I had, to be honest with you, a really rough week with somebody in my life who has not been very kind. Like, I don't want to go into details right now, but not very kind at all. So I'm just gonna lift it up and manifest kindness and greatness, and this is about kindness. So easy, easy, easy peasy. If you want to use stamps, I brought a stamp to show you how easy it is. This one says, it's a little bee with a little swirly thing and it says kind, so be kind. So all you have to do is stamp it in, just like that. And now I'm gonna take my X-Acto knife really quickly and I'm going to outline what I just cut. It doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of outline it. And I just want to tell everybody who's watching or listening, it doesn't take a lot to be kind to somebody. You know, it's just kindness. It matters and it's special, and you know, you could leave your legacy by being kind to somebody and not being mean or talking bad about people. So, you know, this person talked bad about me over and over and over, and I think, why? What's bad about me? So, you know, some people are just that way. So anyway, this is about kindness. I'm making a nice kindness mug. Kindness mug. So I'm scoring the back real quick. to put my cute little element, and I'm going to drip water on my piece. And now I'm right-handed, so I think I want it to be in the front. It could be on the side, you know, however you want your little element to be. I'm going to put mine right here. Just so, just like that. And there, my friends, is my kindness mug. It has a cute little heart. I mean, I could go really more detailed in this, where I could put little swirlies, or I can make butterflies or flowers. Actually, I actually brought a flower thing where I can make flowers, but I'm running out of time. So I thought to put flowers like right around the area where it says be kind. So, you know, you could do that. But I do host classes again at my home studio. I come to you, I bring just this, it's not a lot, you know, everybody can have their own little place. And we could do clay sculpting classes, and it could be anything you want. It could be a one-time thing. It could be a series of 6 classes. It could be a woman's fun night. Paint your own pottery if you want something already done and you don't want to get your hands dirty. It's not that dirty, but you know, things like that we could do. It's endless. It's really endless of what you could think of and what you can do. And my love is doing art and pottery, and you know, it brings me to a place where I forget about the really horribly mean people in the world, and I just focus on what I love to do and being kind to others and giving my love. So I just wanted to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you liked my little demo. I know it was quick and it was fast, but if you want to, again, do one of my classes, just you can always give me a call, 954-857-5444. Or you can reach me on Instagram, Living Life Artfully, Facebook, Living Life Artfully, or livinglifeartfully@gmail.com is my email. There's plenty of ways to reach me. So if you're interested in any kind of classes or prices or putting some kind of group together, I do corporate and baby showers and you name it. I will come to you and do it. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you again next Monday. Good night.
Creative, enchanting, whimsical. Artist GinaBella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions. Expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay, her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, GinaBella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on GinaBella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444.